Hello, this is Birgitta. I am a maker from Iceland. This is episode 5 of the Yarn Chaos podcast. This is a little bit of a different episode. This is normally a knitting episode where I am usually by myself, but today I have a co-host. This is my mom.
Hi, my name is Edda, and I'm a maker from Iceland also.
Mm-hmm. And we say maker instead of knitter. Yeah. Whether this is majority knitting content that we're sharing, but we say maker. We were talking about it before we started recording because we're not only knitters.
No, yeah. We do all kinds of things.
Yeah, which I learned from you.
Yeah.
So we knit and crochet.
Yeah. Do quilting.
Yeah.
Sew clothes.
Yeah. Project bags.
Yeah. All
kinds of things. All kinds of little.
We do a little bit of drawing and painting.
Yeah. We're just creatives. We like to make things.
Yeah.
That's our, juice in life.
Yeah.
Right. So, to any of you that are returning, I want to thank you for sticking with me. And I've been kind of giving teasers that I was asked in the comments to have my mom on because I do talk about her being my knitting guru and honestly my making guru. And
a little bit too much.
maybe a little too much. She's just trying to be humble. But she is, in my eyes. Everything I learned is because of her. And, I used to visit her on weekends when we used to live further away from each other. And I always knew I had to stop by the store, buy some wool, because being around her and her constant knitting, it's, what is that word? When you, it's infectious. So I knew that I would need some wool to make something the weekend that I'd be visiting with her. Yeah. So now I'm just full on a maker because you can't be around her without having something in your hands. So, and to any of you that are new, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy this podcast. This is episode 5, and I've been promising to bring my mom on, and so here we are.
No, I'm here.
Yeah. So we thought that we would get interrupted.
Ja, jag kunde ut.
Vad säger du? Okej. Efter tillbúin? Okej. Hörru, fara varlega. First man. Bye. Okay, so we thought we would show you. I was telling Mom that she should bring some of the things she's made this year because she has finished 3 sweaters and a shawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I've finished my tulip sweater, which I'll talk about in a minute, and the little hearts cardigan. And then we'll kind of show what we're working on, and so finished objects, works in progress, and I have an acquisition, so to say.
Yeah.
Acquisition. I've received some yarn in the mail. We have also another co-host that you can't see, you can hear.
Yeah.
Lily.
A talkative little thing.
Yeah. Lily Lexter. So I was thinking you would start because you have 3 sweaters. Yeah. Lily, komma. Allt i lei. Allt i lei. Kom på Lexter. Allt i lei. Ja, så. Sånn. Lexter ner. Sånn. Hva beinet? Lily, hva beinet? Nei. So we are going to talk about what we're wearing.
Yeah.
You can start.
Well, I just made that sweater. That's the last one no, it's not the last one I made.
It's the second one you made.
Yeah. This is Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil.
Yeah.
Yggdrasil. Yeah.
I'll put it on the screen.
By Anna Sjøsvart. I don't know how to say her last name, but that's how I read it. And it's beautiful. It has a beautiful braid down here.
Yeah, and it goes all the way down.
Yeah.
And into the... No, it stops. Yeah, it goes all the way through the ribbing.
I made it that way. I'm not sure if
that's how it's supposed to be.
No, I'm not sure. That's how I do things. And I started at the neck, and I didn't like the neckline because it was too high. I don't like anything too high. So I took so faded neckline. Yeah, frogged it back. Made a so faded neckline, and I like it much better. Other than that, I made it
pretty much the pattern.
Yeah, I never do all like the pattern. I make my length, the sleeves that I
like the decreases. Or
no, just the sleeves. I just make them the way I want them to be, and these are that length. What?
Quarter length?
Quarter length. Yeah. So
that's the So Faded by Andrea Mowry.
Yeah.
Did we say that?
The necklace.
Yeah, because it's such
neckline.
The neckline. Yeah, it has such a good. You knit it back and forth, and so it has such a good neckline. And
and then I mean it's I have some notes. Yeah, it's drops one strand of drops flora and one strand of kidsilk mohair from drops, and it's soft. I had that yarn, the flora, for like 2 years. It was from my stash, and I got the mohair the same color
to match.
To match.
That you bought for the sweater. Yeah.
But
I love that color.
Yeah, that's a beautiful color.
That's a color that could be in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
So that's your sweater. So the modification was the neckline.
Yeah.
And like maybe the length of the sleeve and body. You never really follow that.
I never follow. I buy the pattern, and then I start or I use what I like about that pattern. But I never
like a recipe, really.
Yeah, and then I put my love into it. Yeah. But the first sweater that I made this year, I bought the yarn and I forgot to write it down. I have to give it to you.
Yeah. Okay.
And I started. I think that this is the third or the fourth sweater that I made from this yarn, and I was never happy with it. So I frogged it back, and it was
re-knit it.
Yeah.
How many times?
3 or 4 times.
That's some good use out of the yarn.
Yeah, I'll say. It's getting pretty cheap, huh?
Yeah.
But then I decided to make some what are they called?
What's it called? Raglan
increases. Raglan, and I made a little bit of like a faux braid, and just made it straight. And then I wanted big sleeves, like
bell sleeves.
Bell sleeves, and I put I-cord bind off, but I didn't. I'm thinking about frogging it and taking it in a little bit more.
Yeah, like decrease it a little more.
Yeah,
to get more of a bell.
Yeah,
bell shape. Yeah, but you did the I-cord, like I did on my love note.
Yeah.
And we love this. Like, it just looks so clean, right?
Yeah, I like
so
that.
Good. Yeah. And the color, do you think it's true to color on screen, Mom?
No, it's a little bit pinker.
Yeah,
it's like a powder pink.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think I'm not sure how it's looking on screen.
Oh, yeah. It looks good. Yeah.
But it is a powder pink. Yeah. And Mom is she loves light colors.
Yeah.
Everything that's like powder pink, creams.
But this color too. But I like
the lighter shades.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we had a mood board,
it would be all pastel, but then every once in a while it would pop up red.
Yeah, a little red.
Yeah. I like red.
Yeah, that's like me. I like around November, that's when red trickles into our lives. So yeah. But this is a beautiful sweater.
And how this one is
it's so soft. And there's a running theme for us this year.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to tell them what it is?
It's mohair.
Mohair.
Yeah.
So every sweater that I've knit this year, which is not many, I think this is my second. I'm on my third.
Yeah.
You've knit 3.
Yeah. 3 and 1 shawl.
And a shawl. So everything that Mom has knit this year has had a strand of mohair in it.
Yeah.
And all the sweaters that I've worked on this year has had a strand of mohair in it.
Almost. Not all.
No, like that I've made for myself.
Yeah.
So that's our running theme, and it's so soft. Yeah. This is like buttery soft.
Yeah, it's buttery.
What did you say you had kidsilk mohair?
No.
What kind of mohair is it?
No, that's what I have to tell you.
You have to
put
check
it on the screen.
Okay, so I'll have it on the screen what yarns is here.
Yeah.
But this is a beautiful blend, and it feels really, really good.
Yeah.
So
and the color is so
beautiful. And do you know what Mom does? So she's sometimes knitting with a color, and we get kind of excited about colors, and she'll smell it, and she's like, oh, it should smell like baby powder, or like.
It doesn't smell.
It doesn't smell right. Like it should smell like a certain, you know, or like rose petals or something. So she's like, oh, yeah. So this is what was this your first one that you finished this year?
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah.
And that was the second one. Yeah. This one.
And the ribbing on the bottom. Did you tell them what kind of ribbing you did?
Oh, just a regular.
Just a 1x1.
Yeah.
What kind of bind off do you use?
I just use the regular bind off.
Is that like the Iceland bind off, or does it have a name?
I knit 2 and pass it over the back one over.
Okay, so you pass the first one over the second one.
Yeah, and then I knit another one, pass over.
Just so what we call is regular. I wonder if it has a name.
No, I don't know if it has a name.
But it has a really nice finish at the end, or at the edge. And are you careful to keep it loose for sweaters?
Yeah, I always do.
Yeah. Okay, so
the second one, I just finished and I haven't blocked it.
No, that's okay.
So I was just
this is also
that's my red.
Yeah, this is the red. Yeah, also held with mohair, right?
Yeah, that's 1 strand of plötulopi and 1 strand of kidsilk mohair.
And I'll hold it this way, so you can talk about it. Here we go.
This is Valkyrja,
it's fine.
This is Valkyrja by Anna Sjöswart.
So second sweater.
Yeah,
by her.
Yeah, I found her podcast.
Do you know I have it here because I talked about her?
Yeah.
Do you remember what it's called?
No.
Here.
Anyway.
Oh, I think it's just her name. So I'll just put it on the screen. Yeah. She's from Sweden.
Yeah. I found her podcast and I watched a lot of them, and I liked her style. She has her own style, and all the sweaters this one was only supposed to be like 12 centimeter long.
In the body.
Yeah, in the body, and then the rib. So
very cropped.
Very cropped, and I'm tall, and that doesn't work for me. So, what doesn't work, I just fix it.
Yeah, you just modify it to what length you want.
Yeah,
because her style is pretty much very cropped sweaters, right?
Yeah,
high-waisted skirts and things.
Yeah,
but
Anna's
style. Yeah, so you just lengthened it a little bit.
Yeah, and it comes down to my hips. And what I like most about that, this is like just I've also fixed the neckline.
Modified
the neckline.
You made it lower.
Yeah. And and I made it that way by taking the biggest size
in the
pattern, and then I just increased until I had my size.
Yeah.
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 And then what I liked most about it was the balloon sleeves. I like that. And it has these decreases here.
What is that called? Like, oh, like you, okay. Like almost like you do with hats.
Yeah.
But they're like slanted.
Yeah.
Wonder, can you see it? Can you see if it's visible?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So balloon sleeves are kind of in for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is the second sweater she's made with.
And I think this will be dreamy in my RV this summer. Traveling.
In a house car.
Yeah.
Yep. It'll be warm.
Yeah.
Because it's plötulopi
and mohair. Yeah.
And the buttons are really cute. Are they brown or maroon?
Yeah. No, they're brown.
Yeah.
I bought them for another sweater. And
but you were able to use it for this one?
Yeah, I thought they fit better.
It's beautiful. Yeah. And it's so fun to see how, because I went with her to our local yarn store when she picked out the wool for this.
Yeah.
And seeing the plötulopi and then the mohair, it's different reds, obviously.
Yeah.
But seeing it knit together, it just kind of like, it's so alive somehow. Like it's very moody.
Yeah.
You know,
it has so many colors. It has blue and yellow and purple.
So that's the plötulopi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But then the depth kind of comes with mixing it's a little shade darker.
No,
mohair.
It's the mohair is like the Christmas red.
Yeah, but it's a little bit darker than the. Was it?
No,
it matched pretty good.
The plötulopi was darker.
Oh, okay, it was okay. I'm mixing it, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So and it smells so good.
But I haven't
washed it. But it does smell a little sheepy, like a clean, fresh sheep.
These were my knits for this year, but I started in the fall, I think, making that shawl. This is Fiber Tales Gro pattern, and you start down here
at the bottom. So
at the bottom,
all the stitches?
yeah.
And sure you don't tell any secrets.
Okay.
No, with the pattern.
Yeah. Well,
but
I'm not telling
everything.
You start at the bottom.
Yeah.
You start here, and
work your way up.
Work your way up. This is so beautiful. This is one strand plötulopi and one strand kids mohair. I like that.
It's a good mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it has a braid up here.
Yeah.
And
it was fun to knit and mindless. You know, you have to think in the beginning. That's when that's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
To have to think in the beginning,
because you're excited about the project.
Yeah. And then then it's just mindless.
Then after that, it's just the braids and the garter.
Yeah. And it's always fun to get to the next braid. And
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful one. I think this is definitely going to be in my queue. I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it goes with everything. Look at it. Like it goes with, it just goes with everything. Yeah.
This color, this is my color. I love that color. And
that's your staple neutral.
Yeah.
Right.
But Fiber Tales, she makes everything. So
everything
pretty.
She makes is gorgeous. I showed them my socks that are in this kind of color.
I made that kind of
and she kind of has like, it's the nature kind of you know theme that she has. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So that I finished that in between these sweaters. So I finished that this year, but I knit most of it last year or in the winter. During the winter. So what about you?
So so I'm wearing my tulip sweater. Okay, but just to say, because you were saying you knit this at the same time, are you because I might get questions about it.
Yeah.
Are you many projects on the go kind of maker?
Yeah, definitely.
Not even a question.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Because you knit like I do, where like it depends on the day, on the mood. Some things you work on in the morning, like if you have dark yarn or something.
Complicated. Something that I have to think about.
Yeah. Then you do it in the morning.
Yeah.
Because daylight.
Yeah.
And also just you have that time.
Mostly in the brain.
Yeah, right. Brain activity in the morning.
Yeah, it's working good.
Yeah. And you have that peace and quiet too in the morning. Yeah. And it totally depends on your mood, like what colors you choose and and all that.
And
stuff.
also I feel like if I get an idea, then I want to start
act on it.
Yeah, act on it, and so I don't forget about it.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
And also, if I'm going somewhere where I'm gonna be talking, I want to have something that I don't have to think about.
Yeah,
and if I'm going somewhere, it has to be small. If I'm home and I don't want to think about it, then it can be big.
Yeah, like sweaters.
A sweater.
The body of the sweater. Yeah. So it depends on where you're knitting, mood, and all that stuff. Yeah. I think that's not to knock people that start a project and knit it the whole time and finish it. Everybody just has to kind of have their own, their own creative way of doing things. I guess.
Some people are like that, and some people are not. Everybody's different.
I think it's funny how we're very similar in that.
Yeah,
in that way.
You were raised well.
I was raised well. Okay, so I'm wearing. Yeah. I'm wearing the Tulip sweater by B. Mandarins or Melody Hoffman.
Yeah.
I used stash for this. I had shown in a previous episode. I think it's called the Birgitta wool sweater, the brown wool sweater that I have yet to steek.
Yeah.
I think it's called Birgitta. And I have this yellow in there, and I think I definitely had more of that yellow in my stash because I didn't buy any wool for this.
No.
And I thought I'd have to buy the mohair for it. I had that in my stash too when I went through some of my project bags. Apparently I was going to have this kind of yellow in a shawl that I was going to make that I ended up not doing. So this is a whole sweater made completely out of stash.
Yeah.
And it's plötulopi in a yellow. What is that color? What is it called when it's I can't remember where the color has movement in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like yours had like anyway, so the yellow had like other tones to it, and then I put the mohair with it.
Yeah.
And I think I made this in like I don't know.
Few days.
Yeah, maybe like just hold on, let me just fix this. So it didn't take me long at all, and I was knitting this along with other projects, and I ended up having 3/4 length or like right below the elbow, and that was mainly because I ran out of wool.
Yeah.
So I started at the neckline, knit down, and it has maybe I can just stand up and show. So it has this tulip. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
It has like the tulip detail here. I have some hair on my dress here.
It's so beautiful.
And I made it to hit like my a little below my natural waist, so like kind of where my hips are. But to wear with this is very cropped for me. I usually have my sweaters very long.
It looks so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With a dress on or a tunic or something. But so I knit the body, finished that, and then I split the wool that I had left in two, and I weighed them to make sure that I had enough.
Yeah.
And I just decided I'm gonna just knit until I finish it, and it hit right where I like it. So
yeah.
And I even wore it out the other day to go pick up my son, and it's wintertime here in Iceland.
Yeah.
And I was just doing stuff at the house, and I had to run out, and I didn't grab my coat, and I wasn't cold.
Yeah.
I wasn't hot, but I wasn't cold.
That's because of the lopi.
Yeah. The wool just regulates your body temperature.
Yeah, it does.
So, but the thing about this sweater is that I don't know if I should speak on it.
What? With
the pattern. So I think it's just because of how I knit. So I started with my size according to pattern. but the increases, I don't know if I just wasn't, my brain wasn't braining. I don't know what you want to say.
Yeah.
But I ended up just doing the increases. I veered off the pattern, basically. I just wasn't like, I was reading it and I was just like, oh, I wasn't really understanding it. And it was like late, and maybe I shouldn't, maybe that was my first cue.
Yeah.
But so I just kind of split it how I wanted to. So I used the pattern as a recipe. So I started, and then I did the increases just kind of from my own knowledge, really. And then I got back to, you know, and the sleeves as well. So like I veered off the pattern until I got to the body and I needed to bind off. Then I went back. So I kind of just used it as a recipe. Yeah. And I think it was just because it was confusing me a little bit in the beginning, and it could just be because it was late.
Yeah. But also, then, you know, as long as you get the right stitch account.
Yeah. And that's where I got back to the pattern, was to make sure that I had the right stitch count when I was splitting for the sleeves.
Yeah.
So like a recipe, I was kind of feeling bad. Like, I'm not understanding the pattern. And I don't think it's the pattern. I think I was just
confused.
Yeah.
And did your own thing.
And did my own thing also. Like, I think it's just also that, always going back to that. But it was a quick knit. It was nice and it looks beautiful. And I think I'm definitely wearing this over Easter.
Oh yeah.
Tulip sweater, yellow. Yeah. Just a good mix. So that's my second sweater that I made this year.
Yeah.
And then I've started my third one, which is a test knit, but I'll talk about that in works in progress. The other thing that I finished is not a sweater for me, but for my little niece. And this is the Little Hearts cardigan by Maria Monska. And it hasn't been washed, so it's curling up in on itself. But it's made out of Snældan, the gray, and the pink is Cama Rose.
Yeah, it's Yggdrasil,
which is what, everyday wool?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's Cama Rose in coral colorway. Yeah. And this is like kind of like, you know, the Icelandic wool. It's a little rusty. It's a little rusty.
But it does get so soft when you wash it.
Because it like blooms.
Yeah, it blooms.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of cool, because if you look, you can kind of see through it, like right here. But once you wash it, it just fills in. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the back here.
It is so beautiful.
So cute. And it has a garter collar. And right, that's garter.
Yeah.
Garter for the sleeves or cuffs.
Yeah.
And at the bottom. And it has 3 buttons here at the top.
Yeah.
So I made the buttonholes, but I've yet to, I don't know if I'm going to see, I think I may have some buttons in that I own. Yeah. And if not, we'll just.
I have some.
Yeah. Or we have the local yarn store.
Yeah.
So Snældan is a wool from Faroe Islands.
Yeah.
And
And where did we get that? That's
right. Yeah. So I got this on a cone. I mentioned it before. I'll mention it again.
Yeah.
So my mom is a part of a what kind of women's society. Yeah. And they made they took a trip to the Faroe Islands. Yeah. Yeah. Did you want to tell them about that?
We took a trip to the Faroe Island, and of course I had to go to a knitting store.
Mm-hmm. And, as you do.
As you do.
When you're traveling.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I got one cone of gray for you, and a white one for me. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's where it comes from. And you already made a sweater.
Yeah. So originally we decided we were gonna make each. We were each going to make a cardigan, a long cardigan. Yeah. And then we kind of just didn't. You're making, what are you using yours for?
I'm crocheting squares for a blanket.
Mm-hmm. It's very beautiful. And I made, I held it double, and I made the ranunculus sweater, which I ended up giving to my youngest sister. Yeah. And I had a lot left over. I think on that cone, you could get 2 adult sweaters. I mean, honestly, yeah.
The necklace was double.
Yeah, I held it double. So
yeah,
honestly, that's like 2 sweaters if you held, well, not really. I think you use a little more if you hold it single, but yeah, you get a lot out of that cone. I think that's like going forward, it would be really nice to get some of those cones in stash.
Yeah, really.
Right? Because, so if you're ever going back to the Faroe Islands. No, but yeah, I know you can also order the cones, but I'm using the rest of the cone for little things like this sweater, and it's not held double, this is single, and I've yet to make like high socks for my niece. So
and they have hearts on them.
They have hearts on them as well. And I was originally going to use a terracotta from Snældan that I had in stash, but I think my mom had other ideas, and she was like, well, I have this other yarn, and honestly, I mean, it's a good choice. Look at how those hearts pop.
They pop better.
They look so good. Otherwise, it would have been very muted. But this was a good call.
And the one that's gonna, the mom, she likes brighter colors. Yeah.
So good choice.
Yeah.
So mom has 4 daughters. And the one that just had a baby, she is the second youngest. Yeah. I am the third. Yeah. In line.
No.
So the third youngest.
Yeah. No, you're the second oldest.
Yeah, it's so funny. So I have an older sister, and that's her first child, and then I'm the second, and then Amelia, the one that has the baby, is the third, and then our baby sister, is the fourth. What do we say? Anyway, so yeah. So I've yet to make the high socks with the heart design, and I don't know if I'll make a hat. I don't know if with the wool being...
I think it's gonna be fine because it softens
up. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I'll find, because I'd have to kind of find a pattern, a good hat pattern that I could add this motif into it.
Yeah. I think because you can use like a cotton hat underneath.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that would be a good call.
Yeah.
So I've yet to finish. It's going to be a set, and this is 9 to 12 months, and she'll be 1 at the end of August of this year.
She's only 5 months old.
So so maybe so I still have time. So that's my other finished project.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about like these gloves real quick, and then we're done. Then we'll talk about whips. Okay. So this has kind of a funny story. This is the pumpkin spice latte mittens by Ellie
from
Skein Knits. I had plans to make this for so long, and then finally when I did, I of course didn't gauge swatch, and I don't even know if I followed the rules on what needle size to use. I think I just took whatever needles I had. No, Mom says I didn't, because they ended up being so big that when I put my hands inside, there was like literally this much fabric left, and it just kind of flopped around, and it was wider, and it was just, they were just way too big. And I said to Mom she was going to be what is that called when you wash the wool to make it thicker? I'll put it on the screen. I don't have the word in English. We call it faiva. So she was going to do that to a project, and I asked her to do these for me, and she was a little hesitant. She was like, I
kept them for a long time.
Yeah, she kept them for a long time without doing it, and she was like, I may mess them up. And I was like, they're already too big and I'm not using them, so if they mess up, it's okay. And so she did, and then she brought them to the house.
Oh, do you know what happened? I put them in the washing machine with other clothes.
Yeah.
And I thought,
to get it to whatever that word is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
felt.
No, felt. Yeah. And then my husband, he called up and said, should I put the stuff in the dryer?
And you're like, yeah.
And I said, yeah, do that. It was towels and stuff. And then when I went downstairs to take out of the dryer, I saw these. They had gone through the washing machine and the dryer.
Yeah, so they were very felted.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you brought them, they were all crumpled and had like deep creases in them. And
I said, I ruined them.
And I was just like,
I told you.
I was like, well, maybe I can just wash them and block them. And if they're too small for me, my youngest daughter could use them. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So I did wash them and block them. And they're a little, they're a little, you didn't know. I hadn't told you. Okay. So they fit like so well. Like here's where the thumb is, and everything is where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is the tip of my middle finger. Yeah. Everything fits, and it's so snug, and it's like solid. Yeah. So the only thing is I had to stretch it a little bit here. Yeah. Because I knew that it was a little tight to put on, but they fit really well. So so after washing, they you know, fit really, really good. So surprise, I didn't realize that I hadn't told you this. No. So yeah. But
I love these gloves.
They're so good. Yeah. They're so nice.
I made myself one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I saw them with, you know, that you had made, and I was like, oh, I have to do this. Yeah. Because I'm a very fall person, and this fits for that. So that's that. So do you want to talk about your what you're working on right now?
What I'm working on? Well, one of the things that I'm working on is a sweater for my granddaughter, and I just wanted to make something out of yarn that I had. This is baby merino from Drops, and I had 2 skeins of that, and 2 like
partially used.
Yeah, partially used skeins of that.
Of the dark.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to make a whole sweater out of a lot of
leftovers. Or like stash.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I just cast on 100 stitches and did 14, split it so it was 14 on the sleeves, and 36 on each side.
And this size is for?
A 6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just make it until it fits a sweater that she owns that fits well. And now I already split for the sleeves. And that's how I work.
That's how you work the sweaters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's such a good idea to measure it to sweater that already fits well for the depth.
Yeah. Right. And that baby merino is so soft and it's not prickly. So 5-year-olds are sensitive.
Yeah. And she'll definitely wear that one.
Yeah. So
but I think you should show them the project bag you have, because I think it's so gorgeous.
Yeah, I got that for my birthday.
So her youngest, the one that she's knitting for her granddaughter, gave this to her.
This is the Monster Remade. Yeah, so this is something that she probably
she purchased at a local store here that has a lot of handmade items. Yeah. That is local to the west of Iceland. Yeah. So it's artists that live in the west of Iceland that they sell.
Yeah. For the sell stuff, and this is all reused.
Yeah, recycled.
Recycled
fabrics.
And this is beautiful. Was probably a picture on the wall somewhere.
Yeah. Or a pillow or something.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
So what are you
a little envious of that.
I know, it's your colors.
Yeah, it's okay. So what I'm working on is the test knit that I am making. The designer's name is Alexandra, and her Instagram handle is vert.and.rose. I'll put it on the screen. And this is called the Veronica sweater. And
you're already
so you I'm allowed to share like my progress and everything. So it has a keyhole in the front, and then you knit I-cords on each side, and you tie it like a bow here in the front. It's very dainty.
Yeah.
It's very feminine, and this is, surprise, surprise, a mohair mix.
Yeah.
With hand-dyed yarn from Mar in Iceland. So this is the yarn caked up, and I spoke about this yarn in my last episode. And this is kidsilk mohair in just a similar color. So this is a hand dyer from Iceland. The company's name is Mar, and this I just bought at my local yarn store. And I actually ended up knitting 3 swatches, which I never do swatches.
Yeah, you were a good girl.
But I did as I was told, because it is a test knit, and it took me 3 tries, and I finally settled on 4mm needles.
Yeah.
And I'm totally, just excited about making it. I'm enjoying the process. There's, you know, it's an enjoyable test knit. Anything that's been, that I wasn't sure about, we have a chat group, and everything is very clear there. So it's a lot of wonderful people there that are test knitting, and and it's just fun being a part of that group and
it's
knitting
beautiful. I love that color.
I just wish it would what color would you say this is?
It's like a pink with maybe with a gray undertone. Yeah, it's not, when it knits up together.
Yeah.
Like a dusty, not
like
dusty rose. No, not dusty rose, but dusty. I don't know.
Like a dirty fuchsia color.
Yeah,
like a dirty
maybe.
Fuchsia. Yeah. I just love this color. It's like a brighter terracotta in my eyes.
Yeah.
And I love the keyhole. I think that's
it's
a really
gonna
good.
Be so pretty.
And she said that you could actually turn it around. You do short row shaping for the back.
Yeah.
So the back is higher.
Yeah.
But she said if you tie this looser, you can turn it around and have the keyhole in the back as well. So I think that's a cool feature. But just the fabric that this is knitting up is just like a dream.
Yeah. It's and I love the way you do
the increases.
Increases.
Yeah. Let me show them that.
I have to.
I don't know if you can see that. There's like these tiny little knots on each side.
Can't tell.
Not but it's and it has just like a flat. Yeah, it's really nice. I'm enjoying it.
So
it's
pretty.
coming out so well.
Yeah.
And I'm just keeping that in my little basket. I'm enjoying this, just lugging it to your house.
Yes, it's like Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, walking here between I just don't care anymore. I'll just have my little basket and I'm walking in between, back and forth between our homes. And it's nice because I just chuck my phone in here and whatever else I'm bringing, and I'll just grab it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on. I think that's, aside from that, do you have anything else? Is that what
Well, I do, but I don't need to show that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's getting pretty long. So I wanted to speak on one more thing before we sign off.
Yeah.
So I normally don't, as I'm saying this, I'm a part of 2 subscriptions that I'm really excited. They're on their way. I think they're in customs. I'll show them in the next episode. So I am a part of 2 subscriptions. I spoke on it in my second episode, I think. And it's from the Farmer's Daughter. So it's the Indigenous Collective and the Sock Squad. But this is not that. This is from Hello Stella. And I don't know, as I signed up for the subscriptions, I also, Hello Stella had an update. And I was just like, oh, well, since I'm splurging, I decided to buy yarn from her. I followed her for years, and when I saw her update, I decided it's time to buy some yarn from her. These are like highlighter colors. This is like highlighter orange, like a pinky orange, and this is like a highlighter yellow, like a green yellow kind of. Yeah. My idea for this, because this is not my normal color palette, is to make hats for my 2 younger kids. This is a DK weight. This pink yellow is called pomelo, It's a Highland DK, 100 grams, 246 yards. This is her logo. And this one is called Bright Side. So
yeah,
I think this is going to be really good. I was making the Oslo hat when I bought this.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is enough for the Oslo hat because it's DK.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to find a different pattern for them, but preferably something that covers the ears really well.
Yeah.
So if I can have like a brim that folds up or something. But this is going to be so much fun to knit because I usually like muted colors and things like that. So it's so fun to knit for the kids because then I can try like, you know, like bright colors and you know, so I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So that's my acquisitions.
These are going to be fun to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have to find some good patterns for that. So I think that's it for us.
Yeah.
So this is the first time you're on. Won't be the last.
Yeah.
She'll be making.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
So this is my knitting guru.
Yeah.
And yeah, I forgot to say in the beginning, you can find me on Instagram as Yarn Chaos, and my older Instagram is handmade and off-centered. I'll have it in the show notes below. It's a good challenge to take good pictures of your finished objects and put it on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm just not good with pictures. I have you take pictures of
I'll
my
take
stuff.
pictures of you wearing your stuff.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
Yeah.
So so that's it for us.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And until next time, that's it.
Bye.
I have a co-host, right? Og svo til þú segir.
Já.
Ég bara
Já, ég tala bara, horfa hann á.
Já, og ég var líka spáð í tala að þetta verður pínu öðruvísi fyrir okkur að því við tölum með íslensku.
Já, akkurat.
Þannig ef það eitthvað svona hyggstara eitthvað það er því okkur finnst pínu skrítið að vera að tala ensku saman.
Já.
Er það ekki bara?
Já. Ég var einmitt að hugsa það í gærkvöldi. Svo ég örugglega að segja, nei, það ekki svoleiðis. Ég hvort þessi þau skýt?
Hvað maður? Ég með bómulegna. Það er svona rispa. Okay, horfa lína. Hello, welcome to Yarn Chaos Podcast. Leiðu ég sagði hello, það vissi ekki hvað ég segja. Hello, welcome to... Ég man ekki hvað, ég gerði þetta alltaf fyrst.